Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. It's to and fro. Stop and go and have some mo. Hello, everybody. We're coming to you live from my condo. Today we're going to be talking to you about the Country Bear Musical Jamboree. Not to be confused with the Country Bear Jamboree, two completely different attractions. Just happen to have shared the same living space. But how's everyone doing? Is everyone doing good? Hopefully we're going to have everyone doing well here. So today we're going to be doing a history lesson about the Country Bear Jamboree. Luckily, I know someone who wrote a book about it. We're also going to have it. So we're going to go through and talk about the new show. We're going to talk about some fun finds, some details that I have found. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. But before we get into all that stuff, I hope everyone out there is doing well. Are you guys doing well? Hopefully people are doing well. It's dead silence in the chat room right now. We've got people who are watching. It shows me we've got people watching, but those people are just like, I don't want to talk today. I don't know if anyone out there sounds like that, but if you do, dead on impression. So in addition to going through and talking about the stuff too, we're going to be going through and showing you pictures, videos, and that's it. We're going to have some pictures and videos that are going to be popping up on our screen as well as we go through here tonight too. So you can get the full effect of the brand new show, which debuted today. Okay, people are silent out there. I don't know if maybe the chat room's not working. Is the chat room not working? Maybe I'm just talking to no one. Okay, so let's get this party started. We're going to start the 778th episode of Oh, there we go. Hello from the Critter Co-op in the Magic Kingdom. I was at the Critter Co-op at the Magic Kingdom today, too. I went there right after I finished up with Tiana's Bayou Adventure today. That's exciting. Frank Fam, it was great to meet you guys. I met the Frank Fam yesterday at Hollywood Studios. So they very nice family. If you ever need a Frank Fam in your life, this is the one that I recommend. 10 out of 10 stars. That's all I got to say about them. No, I could say a lot of wonderful things about them. They're a great family. So, but anyways, how's everyone doing? Is everyone doing well? I hope everyone's doing well. Let's get this party started. We're going to start the 778th episode of the Wednesday show in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 778th episode of the Wednesday show. Today is July 17th, 2024. I'm your host, as always, Brent Dodge. Hello. Today we're going to be going through and talking all about the brand new attraction that opened up today over at the Magic Kingdom, the Country Bear Musical Jamboree. And I know what some people out there are thinking, it's not a new attraction. Kind of is. So what we're going to go through is we're going to do a history lesson about it. We are also going to talk a little bit about the new stuff, some details that you should be looking out for on the next time you go over to the Magic Kingdom to do the Country Bear Musical Jamboree. We've got some pictures to go through as well tonight, so make sure you join us. We're going to have a lot of fun. Also, complete side note, if this attraction did not open up today, we would also say happy birthday, Disneyland, because today is Disneyland's birthday as well. Hey, Judy, how you doing? So we would go through and we would talk all about Disneyland, but today is the Country Bear Musical Jamboree's day, and that is who we are going to spend our entire day talking about. But before we get to that, let's talk about our news for the week. First off, thank you everyone out there who's been joining us for our Saturday in the Park. If you didn't already know, every single Saturday, right over on my YouTube channel, we do a live broadcast from someplace found throughout the Walt Disney World Resort. You never know where we're going to be, but I promise you we will always be coming to you from Disney. This coming up Saturday, I have no idea which park we're going to be at, but I promise you we will be there. However, the following Saturday, we will not be having a broadcast because I will be out of town. So I do apologize in advance if you guys are looking forward to that. This is also a very important question right here. So great to meet you too. How many times did you see Country Bears today? 5. I watched it 5 times today. Plus 2 more times when I got home while doing research for the episode. I was going through my videos and pictures, and I watched it an additional 2 times. However, a lot of the cool details are not just in the show, but they're in the lobby. We're going to get to a lot of that stuff as we go through here tonight. Also, as always, if you guys are not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Our current count is at 7,626 subscribers. We are getting closer and closer to that 8,000 subscriber. So make sure you send all of your friends and family over here if you are enjoying our Disney content. And if you're not, then send your enemies over so they can be tortured too. Okay. And of course, as always, tonight's episode is sponsored by our Patreon pals. Patreon pals. They give me presents at Christmas. Not really, but it worked. Okay. Let's get to it. So tonight we're going to be talking about the Country Bear Musical Jamboree. And in order for us to go through and talk about the Country Bear Musical Jamboree, I think it's important that we don't just sit here and talk about it, but I think it's also important that we go through and share about it, because tonight's episode is going to be taking a look at a lot of different things, because we're going to be going through a lot of different pictures tonight. So if you guys want to stick around and have it so we go through a lot of these different things, make sure you are, asking questions in the chat room so we know exactly what you want to take a look at. But today we're going to be talking all about the Country Bear Musical Jamboree. Now, before we get through and start talking about the Country Bear Musical Jamboree, I think it's really important that we kind of talk a little bit about the history of this attraction. And first off and foremost, I want to talk about the name change, because it used to be called the Country Bear Jamboree. Now it is called the Country Bear Musical Jamboree. And what's the difference? Not a huge difference, but at the same time, I do think it's important that we have a name change to kind of distinguish it from the original. Now, even with the original one that closed down in January was not exactly the original one. Originally, it was about a 16-minute length attraction, and then it went down to about a 14-minute length, and then eventually it went to a 12-minute length attraction. So it has gone through a few different changes throughout the years. In addition to those changes, we've also had a summer hoedown, summer vacation fun. We've also had a Christmas edition as well, and there's been a lot of different changes for the Country Bear Jamboree. So it's kind of funny, because there's some people I know who are very distraught over the Country Bears getting a complete facelift. And I will not lie, I was hesitant, I was worried, but after what I saw today, I am very, very happy with what I have seen so far. I don't know if it's going to have the same longevity as what the original one had, but at the same time, I'm very excited to kind of see what we're going to experience a little bit more of when it comes to the Country Bear Jamboree. So today, the Country Bear Musical Jamboree did debut over at the Magic Kingdom. This is also a great question right here. Any new merch? There is one thing of new merch that did arrive. I posted it on my Instagram story. Let me just download it to my phone real quick here, so that way you guys can see that as well. I did not take any really good pictures of it. However, I do have some pictures of it. Here, let me see if those popped up on the phone. Did they pop up on the phone? No, they did not. Here, we're going to just go here real quick. La, 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 la. Just enjoy the Country Bear Jamboree. That is all you get for free. Now, you know what we're going to do is we're going to do the easier way to do this. Because right now I'm going through a whole lot of stuff to get pictures that I can't even find right now on my phone. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to here. Haha, look at that guy's face. And I will show you the pictures that I just downloaded on my phone. So it's not the greatest thing because it is downloaded, but this is going to be the front of a shirt and the back of the shirt. I do really like the back of the shirt. This has Grizzly Hall, Country Bear Musical Jamboree with Henry, Trixie, and a whole lot of other folks. So we've talked a lot about the Country Bear Jamboree in the past. If you've read my book, you know that this book goes through about 30 to 40 pages just on the Country Bear Jamboree and the history of that attraction. So we're not going to go into too much past detail about some of the things that happened, but essentially this was originally created for the Mineral King Ski Lodge, which never came to be. And then eventually, when Walt Disney was about to pass away, it was one of the last things that he ever saw with Mark Davis, and he laughed at the bears, and the attraction became affectionately known as Walt's Last Laugh. So Walt Disney did have a hand in this attraction. He did have a personal connection with this attraction, and because of that, it does have a really cool history with the Disney company, because a lot of people just want to know what on earth would Walt have thought about these attractions. Now, one of the things is we always talk about how Walt Disney always wanted to have things moving forward, keep progressing, keep having it so everything would be moving on into the future and focusing on brand new things. So so without further ado, let's talk about brand new things. Let's go and take a look at the Country Bear Musical Jamboree. Now, what we're going to do is we're first going to do some look arounds in the lobby area. If it loads here, it's slowly loading. Okay, let's share screen, and then you can see what I see. Haha, look at this. It's a whole lot of nothing right now. Come on, you can load. I know you can. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe it just slowly. Okay, let's just match it. Ooh, come on, you can move around, but there's more things that we need to take a look at. Here's a question here: is there blood still on the saddle? Sadly, no. There's no blood on the saddle. There's blood all around and a great big puddle of blood on the ground. Oh, I don't know why this isn't loading. Buddy, you were my hope tonight, so don't fail me now. Okay, let's go back here and take a look at this. Okay, so these are all mostly videos. This is not a video. Okay, so let's start off by talking about the cases. There are going to be 4 different display cases that you can actually find inside the lobby area. And I am so bummed right now. None of this is loading. I think it's having a connection problem with my phone. That could be the issue right now. Is that the issue? Heard Liver Lips looks off. Liver Lips is no more. Liver Lips is a brand new character. He is now Romeo instead of Liver Lips McGraw. It's now Romeo McGraw instead. So that is why he would look off. He's got kind of the same look, kind of the same feel, but also at the same time completely different. Yeah, that's my connection to the phone is not working. That's where the issue lies right now. Yeah, we can close that up. Maybe. I don't know if it's going to come back. Okay, we might be showing you pictures while holding it to the phone. That was not my initial plan for the night, but it looks like we are having some connection issues with the thing. And I'm so bummed because I had everything set up. So I was like, oh, we're going to have so many pictures tonight. It's going to be great. I can show them right on the screen. Okay, so let's pull this up on the phone instead here. And this way you can see some of the stuff that I was going to talk about. Okay, so like I said, there are going to be 4 different areas that you can find, or 4 different cases when you go through the attraction. And these 4 different cases go through and they have different artifacts. So the one that is closest to the actual doors goes through and it actually has the original history of the Country Bear Jamboree. So there we have the Grizzly Hall opens up. And as you can see there, it says the venue promises a wild and woolly time. Now, if you look here, if you take a little closer look, it does have Ursus H. Bear, who is the founder of Grizzly Hall. So, going back all the way to the original things. In addition to that, we do have Ted's things. Now, if you remember, Ted is one of the 5 bear rugs. We've got Zeke and Zeb and Ted and Fred and a bear named Tennessee. So if you remember in the show, you can actually find Ted's washboard along with the jugs. These are the actual washboard and jugs from the original attraction. So we do have some Disney history here. In addition to those things, we also have the original harmonica for Fred, Zeke, and Zeb, and Ted, and Fred, Fred's harmonica there. And then also with the Five Bear rugs, we also always have um, little Oscar, the little baby bear, and he's always holding on to a teddy bear. The teddy bear does change in this brand new show. So this is the original one. And by the way, when I saw this one, all I could think was I've never seen it this close up before. But remember Bobo from The Simpsons, Mr. Burns's bear? That's what he looks like. That's in my mind, that looks just like Bobo the bear from The Simpsons. Maybe I'm the only person who sees it, but I see it. And then on top of that, we also have this top hat here, and the top hat, as the story goes, actually belongs to Ursus H. Bear, again, the founder of Grizzly Hall, the home of the Country Bear Jamboree. Oh, it looks like we might have connection again. Maybe. Please load. Oh, we cannot read that file. Okay, can you read this file? Come on! Come on, Aladdin. Oh no, it's not. It's not working at all. Oh no. Well, that's not good. Is this one working? Maybe. No, you know what we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect from the phone on here, and then we're gonna reconnect to the phone, because sometimes, kids, if I've learned anything from my IT life, sometimes you just need to turn things off and turn them back on, and they work. I don't know if that's going to be the case this time, but hopefully it is. Okay, so in addition, well, while we're waiting for that to upload, and hopefully make our life easier so you guys can see things a little bit easier instead of having just me hold it to the screen, we're going to continue holding things to the screen until everything's uploaded here. So in addition to that, we also have a tour section of the glass case there. And in that tour thing, we've got Big Al's vest. And Big Al's vest on there, we've got things like Zurich, Rome, London, Berlin, Athens. So a lot of different spots. But my favorite part about this is the fact that on the right hand, or I'm sorry, on the left hand side, there's like a little plaque, and the plaque says the vest that Big Al actually wore during his most recent farewell tour. So the fact that it's not even like his farewell tour, but just his most recent farewell tour, that just kind of cracks me up. The fact that this guy's probably, retired from singing multiple times now. Okay, that is still not loading. No. As long, can we get this part? Maybe not. Maybe not. It's thinking. It's just not doing. All right. So in addition to that one, if we take a look at the back side here, we do have the guitar along with that patch there. The guitar belongs to Romeo McGraw, like we said earlier. Romeo McGraw being Liver Lips McGraw's new name. This is a good question right here. I'm still trying to figure it all out. Do the patches have connections to anything? Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I looked at it for a while and I couldn't really figure out exactly what it might be. But I feel like there's got to be some sort of connection, and I'm just drawing a blank on it. I want to go back actually and watch the Country Bears, the movie that came out back in like 2001, 2002, something around there, 2002, I want to say. I want to go back and rewatch that because I feel like that's going to have some answers that we need to have here. So in addition to that, down here, we've got this pair of sunglasses. The sunglasses were worn by Trixie during a photo shoot. We also have the guitar strap for Shaker. And then one of my favorite little details here is the camera. So here it says we've got the camera. The camera belongs to one of the bears that he would take a lot of pictures when they were going on tour. And then actually, if you go closer to it, you can actually find pictures that were taken from there. So we got them partying up on the top left. In the middle, we've got Henry along with Teddy Bear. We've got Big L's birthday there. And then what's the one on the bottom right? Oh, the 5 Bear Rugs actually going through and writing the song. And there's Sammy too, the raccoon. So overall, really, really cool details in that case as well. But that's not the only case. We actually have 2 more cases that we're going to go through, and then we're going to go into the actual theater and talk a little bit about the bears. I'm going to try this again. It's still not working. Unexpected error. I'll give you an unexpected error, computer. It could be Walt's vacation stops. That actually is a very interesting theory. That very well could be the case. Okay. No, we've done that one. We've done that one. We have not done this one yet. So let's take a look at this one. Okay, so this one actually has a few of my favorite little details inside of the entire attraction. First off, we've got some records. This record, as you can see, it was done by Grizzly Gulch Records. And if the name Grizzly Gulch sounds familiar, that's because there's an entire area called Grizzly Gulch over in Hong Kong Disneyland, where it's like a water ride that's over there. It's called Grizzly Gulch. In addition to the Grizzly Gulch records, whoa, I zoomed in too far. In addition to that, we can find a microphone there on the left-hand side. It's kind of blurry, but it says CBJ on there for Country Bear Jamboree. You can also find, wait, where'd it go? No. You can also find the recording light there. It says lane tracks. And then in addition to the lane tracks, you can find a fiddle. And the fiddle, why is this? The fiddle, as you can see, is kind of burnt with some strings on it. That's going to come back to play in the actual show. So kind of remember that. We also have the original sheet music for the song Come Again. Come again, come again, anytime. You know, the show that the original show ended with all the characters singing and Henry and then the 3 heads on the wall. We still have that music sheet is right here. And of course, it is carved into wood because that's where the bears came from. They came from the woods. Above that, we do have a book that I have to go into a little bit more detail, trying to figure it all out. Actually, I could probably read all of it right now. Okay, so this is going to be just a book with different things. Here, let's do a reading time. Okay, it says, keep musical or maybe musicale. It's our Country Bear Musical Jamboree. Knee slapping, it originally had rib tickling, toe tapping jubilee. We'll play some slow songs and some fast ones in our Country Bear Musical Jamboree. And then it's got a bunch of things written, scribbled off. Vintage favorite songs, and then it says classic right out of the past ones. All your favorites shined up and brand spanking new, and some you haven't heard in years. We got some fancy prancing and some bear square dancing, and then it's got a bunch of things crossed off. It says, get ready for some big bear cheers. That's parts crossed off. Then it says, right before your eyes and ears. It's our Country Bear Musical Jamboree. Songs that, against a bunch of stuff scrambled off, songs that pull at your heartstrings, yes sirree. Clap your paws, ease your mind. Folks, you're getting here just in time for the Country Bear Musical Jamboree. Overall, really cool details. Okay, let's go to our next part. There's only one other thing that's actually inside of this, and I think it's actually one of the most important things of all, because not only does it have a really cool detail here, this is going to be a napkin. All right, wait, let's zoom in a little bit here. All right, so we have a napkin. The napkin actually belongs to the Hungry Bear restaurant. The Hungry Bear restaurant is actually found next to the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh over in Disneyland. And I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute. Wasn't that where the Country Bear Jamboree was, over in Disneyland? Yes, You are 100% correct. So this is actually a nod to the original, or not the original, but the second Country Bear Jamboree, which opened up on March 24th. That's my birthday, 1972. Okay, so this is going to give us our set list of what we're going to expect inside this new show. So we've got things like Romeo Needs Love Songs. Eventually that goes down. So the set list includes the Five Bear Rugs with a new song, Trixie with the Sunbonnets, question mark. And then Romeo Needs Love Songs thrown in there. We have Ernest, question mark, question mark, question mark. Wendell and Teddy, which is kind of a crazy combination, singing A Whole New World. Shaker, Fixer Upper, Talk to Teddy, A Guy Like You, question mark. Big Al, his is to be determined. Me and Sammy sing Friend Like Me. And then it says Sammy pops out on Can Your Friends Pull This Out of Their Little Hats. And then finale will be a Come Again. So this is going to be the actual, quote unquote, actual thing that we have on there, which the actual thing that Henry would have gone through and actually created the song list for this brand new attraction. I'm so bummed that it's not letting me show the stuff on the screen. I took so many pictures today specifically for today. Okay, and then our final case is probably my favorite case because there's so many really cool details in this case. If you watch my YouTube shorts, I did a fun find on part of it, but I actually did not do the entire thing, which there's so much to see. So let's start off here with Mary Poppins. Obviously a play on the words of Mary Poppins, starring Trixie and Ernest the Dude. See it again and again, supercalifragilisticmusic. Obviously a play on Mary Poppins, and it's actually an almost exact duplicate of the poster, just with the bears there instead. We do have this film canister, which talks about, come on, focus it, which goes through and on it. It says something about the behind the scenes. Hungry World behind the scenes with the Country Bears. We also have these hoof prints for Big Al, a star in his own right. And then we also have a bunch of different appearances that they have appeared in for magazines. We've got National Growl, Hibernation. I don't know what the bear one is because it's not. I mean, they're all bear ones, but I can't see what the rest of the title is there. And then Country Bear Living. And on there, we've got a lot of different things like Hanging Out with Teddy Bear. She's back and into the swing of things because she swings. We also have things like Country Bear Living, Our Favorite Salmon Ridge, 10 Best Treats for Back Scratching. So a lot of really cool details in here. However, we haven't even gotten to the coolest detail inside of this case yet. Wait, where is the coolest detail in the case? Okay, let's get to, there you go. Here's one of them. Okay, so up at the top here, which is going to be really tough to see here again, we've got some awards that they have won. But one of the awards is actually a picture of Winnie the Pooh. This is actually one of the original pictures of Winnie the Pooh from the actual stories of Winnie the Pooh. But that's not my favorite detail. My favorite detail is going to be the next ones. So we have all these different letters here. And these different letters are from different fans. And if you take a look at the postmarks on there, we've got things like Bear Country, March 24th, 1972. Because the Country Bear Jamboree opened up in Bear Country in Disneyland on March 21st, or 24th, 1972. And then on top of that, we've got things like, where is it at? Where is it at? I know I've got a video of it. Here's the video. Okay. In addition to that, we also have stamp marks of Frontierland, October 1st, 1971. Again, that is the day that the Country Bear Jamboree opened up here at the Magic Kingdom. And finally, there's been 3 spots where we've had the Country Bear Jamboree. We can find our last postage stamp there is for Western Land, April 15th, 1983. Western Land is going to be the location in Tokyo Disneyland where the Country Bear Jamboree, the original Country Bear Jamboree show, still is going strong. They also have the Vacation Fun and the Christmas edition still too. So next time you're over in Tokyo, make sure to go check those out. So the lobby area, in addition to that, we do have some posts or the pictures that have been around for years and years and years of the Country Bears, but we also have new pictures, which are replicas of some of the sketch work that the Imagineers did, which actually caused it to be called Walt's Last Laugh. Let's go through here, and we have some questions. Keep on throwing your questions in. I'll get to all of them. Are the animals that were on the wall still there and still talking? We're gonna get to this. We're gonna get to a lot of stuff in just a few minutes here. Maybe Walt's vacation stops. We answered that one. That's cool. The record thing looks like rings in a tree. Isn't that cool? What's the difference between a fiddle and a violin? A fiddle goes on the side, of violins on the chin. I think that's the only difference. I have no idea. I am not a music person whatsoever. I watched a really fascinating video yesterday. It was like a 20-minute video on YouTube about the way that a song was created for the DuckTales video game. And then I sent it to Eric, who he's on vacation right now. Hi, Eric, if you're watching. I doubt he is. He's in Seattle. But I sent it to Eric, and I was like, I don't know anything about music, but this is like such a fascinating video that I'm watching right now. And he watched the whole thing too, I think. I'm assuming he did, because he was actually talking about things that were later in the video that I had watched. And I was like, oh, it's fascinating. Okay, let's get back to this. Okay, we're going to try this one more time and see if the pictures go through, and hopefully they do, because it would be really cool. I can't believe, I mean, we got the one part on. We got the Country Bear Jamboree sign was on there, but I want to get the whole pictures, because I don't want to keep on holding it up, and I don't have any more videos that I was going to show, so maybe it'll cooperate with me. Maybe it won't. I have no idea. Come on, you can do it. I have faith in you. You are so special to us. Okay. I have a lot of pictures on my phone, and it's like slowly like loading up all of them to get to the last part here. But is that the last part? That's the last part. Okay. So now that we've made our way to the last part, let's talk about the show and cross your fingers that it's gonna work. Oh my gosh. Okay. It looks like we actually have a shot here. Okay. So, whoa, no, you don't want to see me. You want to see him. Okay, so we are back with the Country Bear Jamboree, back in its former glory of Henry being our master of ceremonies. Now, Henry has been the master of ceremonies since the very start of the Country Bear Jamboree, and here, once again, he goes through to introduce us to the brand new show. Now, a few things that are very important to talk about with Henry is he does have a brand new look. Now he's got that nice little cowboy hat on there, and he does wear this cowboy hat throughout the entire show. In fact, when he goes through the entire show, he is always wearing the same outfit, opposed to how the original show went, where he did go through a costume change at one part during the show. Can I click next? Or, oh my gosh, if I can't click next. It should let me click next. Why isn't it letting me click next? Come on. That's not what we want. We want to go to the next slide. That's not it either. Okay, let's just cross your fingers that it's going to let us continue to do it. And it looks like maybe it's going to let us continue to do it. We're just going to have to use a little bit more focus and power than we usually do. Okay, so he does call up our friend here, who has never spoken in the original, and he still has never spoken in this one as well. However, some of the things that I do think it's very important to take note of is, let's take a look at his face. Now, it's kind of tough to see in this picture specifically, but he does have a brand new look about him. So a lot of the different audiomatronics for this attraction, not a lot, all of the audiomatronics have been upgraded into a more sophisticated audiomatronic type. So even though we still have the same look and the same feel that we've always had for the Country Bear Jamboree, the bears are changing. They are evolving. I have also always loved this detail where he is drinking honey out of the honeycomb. most people never really pay attention to that. I just always thought that was one of the coolest little details that most people just kind of walk on by and never really pay too much attention to. Oh wait, but he is going to be our piano man, just like Billy Joel. But he is going to go through and start playing a brand new song that has been created for this brand new show. This is again for our first act from the original show, which is going to be the Five Bear Rugs. Now, one of the crazy things about this show is the fact that even though, that's not the way we want to do it. There we go. While we go through and take a look at this, there are a few different things that are kind of out of order, and it kind of threw me off because I'm so used to a specific order of how the things are played that when things changed from the way they originally played, it kind of threw me off today because I was like, oh, wait a minute. No, this person's not supposed to sing next. It's supposed to be Trixie. And then, someone completely different was singing. And I was like, this is just a weird vibe. But then after, my fifth time watching it, I was like, yeah, this is just normal. Okay, so here we have the Five Bear Rugs. Obviously, in the middle there, we got, wait, is it showing the thing? Okay, we got Zeke and Zeb and Ted and Fred and the bear named Tennessee. But this time around, we are not going through and actually having them sing about, or we're not singing about them. It's more like the Vacation Hoedown song where we are just singing about how all the bears are here. They're going to have some fun. And we do have a few new details, like we have the Five Bear Rug sign there. E flat has always been on the side there, so that is still going strong. In addition to that, we do have the washboard being held in by a plunger, which is also a very good sign. I was very worried, not even a joke. I was very worried that was not going to be there anymore. If you take a look at the thing, it actually says the thing on the thing. It's tough to actually see it on this picture right here. And then let's zoom out a little bit. I was hoping that the microphone would say CBJ, just like the one that's found in the waiting area, but this one says a GH for Grizzly Hall. And then if we go all the way over here to Baby Oscar, one of my favorite little updates of the attraction is he was always holding a teddy bear, like the one that we saw inside of the queue. But this time around, instead, we have him holding onto a stuffed animal bear of Big Al. Look at that. It's a little Big Al stuffed animal. And Disney will make a killing if they sold this in the gift shops. I'm just saying, Disney. If anyone out there from Disney is watching right now who is in the marketing department, this is what the world needs. We want the baby Big Al stuffed animals. That's all I want in life right now. I think that would be the coolest little gift shop thing that you could actually pick up. So we go through and we have it so the Five Bear Rugs go through and sing their song. And then after they disappear, this was the first time that I was completely blown away because I was like, wait a minute, this is not where this is supposed to be in the show. And that was when Trixie would come up on screen. So Trixie has always been a mainstay of the attraction. She's still in the exact same spot that she always was, off on the far right part of the stage. I took a picture of her when she had her eyes closed, and she looks terrible. So this is the first time that Trixie is not singing alone. So in the past show, we've always had it so she is there singing, "Tears will be the chaser for your wine after you leave this love of mine." But this time around, though, we don't have her alone. Instead, we have it so she's actually being joined on stage by the Sun Bonnet Trio, aka Bunny, Bubbles, and Beulah. So Bunny, Bubbles, and Beulah have always been there singing the song. All the guys that turn me on, turn me down. They've always been towards the end of the show. So when I saw these three pop up at the start of the show, my mind was blown. And I was like, wait a minute, this isn't right. So now they are going through and singing Disney songs. And this was one of those things when I first heard about this new show and they said, oh, we're going to have them singing Disney songs. I was a little worried. I was very worried because I love Disney. I love Disney music, but I also love the Country Bears, and I love what the Country Bears have always stood for, which is just a silly, fun, good time. And when they started singing the first song, which is Try Everything from Zootopia, I was bracing myself and I found myself absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving it. Okay, so I don't actually have a clear picture of it here, but if you take a look in the background here, you can find that there is a screen there. Now, this screen used to have it, so it was all the lyrics for All the Guys That Turn Me On, Turn Me Down. Now, while they are singing Try Everything with Trixie, the background actually goes through and has it so it focuses solely on Trixie going through and trying a bunch of different things. Try everything, and in addition to that, to answer the question that is in the chat, are the animals that were on the wall still there and still talking? Yes. Max, Melvin, and Buff here. Let's actually bring them up on screen here because otherwise you guys might be like, no, they're not. This guy's lying to us. Wait a minute. Can we? I have a theory. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I have a theory. It did not work. Okay. So you just stop screen share, but I guess this might work a little bit faster than what we were going through. There we go. We got Max, Melvin, and Buff there on the wall. This is Max, Melvin, and Buff at their finest. So Max, Melvin, and Buff, Max being on the far right, Melvin being on the far left, and then Buff being the buffalo in the middle. The three of them have always been a mainstay of the attraction. However, let's talk a little bit about the history of these three characters, because these three characters right here have been known and loved by audiences for years and years and years and years. However, a lot of people forget about their prior engagement, because yes, these three characters were created specifically for the Country Bear Jamboree that opened up on October 1st, 1971 here at the Magic Kingdom. However, there was also another place that they could be found at the Magic Kingdom on October 1st, 1971, and that was the Mile Long Bar. So the location where you can currently order different things over at Pecos Bills used to be a bar where you could just buy drinks, but they weren't alcoholic drinks. And you could go through, and while you were sitting there drinking at this bar, and this bar was called the Mile Long Bar because there was mirrors on both ends of the bar. So if you looked one way or another, it looked like they kept on going on over and over and over and over for like a whole mile, hence the name Mile Long Bar. But these three, Max, Melvin, and Buff, would actually sit on the bar, and they would actually sit there and talk to the guests while they were sitting there enjoying their meal. So the fact that these three are back, but now they are actually more not cooperative, but they're more into the actual story of the show, makes it so much more exciting, because while they're going through and doing Try Everything, they're actually dropping some beats on the wall as well. So it's not just them doing what they used to do, but it's now them actually interacting and enjoying the show as well. So let's go to our next picture here, which is going to be which is going to be Henry there. Henry, of course, being the MC of the entire attraction. Now, like I said, he doesn't go through any character changes. However, this time around, we do see him with the guitar there as well. So he is still the master of ceremonies, but he also does like to interact and have a little bit of fun with the crowd, because as he goes through there and introduces those ones, he or ends with the Try Everything, then he introduces our next character, which is going to be the one, the only Romeo McGraw. And Romeo McGraw is probably the most drastic change that we've had of any character in the new show. I had a little kid who was next to me go, "Is that Elvis?" As you can see there, we got it. So on his guitar, it does say Romeo. He's got the heart belt buckle. But if you remember back when we were talking about the napkin from the Hungry Bear restaurant, the napkin does ask about a love song for Romeo, and Romeo, along with Max, Melvin, and Buff, and Henry, all five of them together are singing Kiss the Girl from The Little Mermaid. And it is a country twist that I never knew I needed, but I actually really, really enjoyed. So we've got him there, and he's bursting out with the songs, and overall does a great job of the entire thing. But then we get to our next portion. The next portion is going to be another one that I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm kind of loving it. And that is when Ernst shows up. And if you remember, Ernst used to have his fiddle that said dude on it. And I always talked about the dude thing because most people didn't pay attention to the dude. And now this is actually kind of a scary picture of him. Now he is dressed up as Bert from Mary Poppins. And the reason he is dressed up as Bert from Mary Poppins is because he is going to be playing Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious on his fiddle. But unlike a lot of the other ones where we have the characters actually singing the songs, this time around we don't have him singing. It is just pure fiddle playing. And if you remember at the start, we were talking about how in the glass case you could find a guitar that had a lot of smoke and a lot of fire on it. This is actually a callback to the attraction that you're about to see, because while he's going through and playing the fiddle, it starts to smoke. And then Max, Melvin, and Buff are on the side talking about, whoa, he's really on fire. Yeah, he's smoking up the place. So the three of them are constantly interacting with the entire crowd or with the entire show. And in my opinion, it makes it a whole lot more entertaining with those three constantly interacting with the crowd there. Okay, let's go to our next character or our next song that we're going to have here. And the next one is actually going to be one that kind of took me by surprise when they first started singing it. I was not really sure what to expect. But here we've got Teddy Bear on the ground there. And she's with Gomer. Or Gomer's this guy here. And they go through and they sing A Whole New World from Aladdin, which this is not the greatest picture of anything. But as you can see, the background does look like the night sky. We do have some smoke that pops up on the ground there. But they go through and they sing a rendition of A Whole New World, and it kind of blew my mind on how much I actually enjoyed it. I was not thinking, there's a lot of things in the show where I was like, I'm not sure what this is going to be like or where they're going to go with this. And then they did it, and I was completely blown away. This was one of those times where I was like bracing myself, thinking this could be terrible. It could be great. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but let's just, we'll see what happens. And overall, amazing time. Okay, so after those ones leave the screen, Max, Melvin, and Buff, again, kind of like our new MCs for the thing, start talking about how is it the way he, I don't know. How's the thing? So Henry comes out and Max, Melvin, and Buff, Henry says, our next person, you'd be surprised, is still a bachelor. And I just assumed they're going to bring out Big Al. But instead they bring out Shaker. And then Max, Melvin, and Buff says, is it the fancy way he walks, or the clumsy way he talks, or the ba-ba-na? It's the song Fixer Upper from the movie Frozen that he goes through and he sings along with Max, Melvin, and Buff and Henry there as they go through and sing the song. He, in my opinion, besides Romeo McGraw, obviously, he is the one that looks the most different from his original viewpoint. However, if you remember his old song, it always ended with the bum ba bum ba bum ba dum, like the Egyptian music playing. That is still there. So we still have that nice little send off that he used to have at the end of the original show. But overall, really, really cool details. A really, really good song. It's one of those songs that I really do not like. I think Fixer Upper is probably my least favorite of all these songs. But, they did it justice. Oh no, I hit the wrong button. We might lose our ability to share the screen right now. I really hope not. Please don't do it to me. Yep, we did it. Oh, man. Okay, so I hit the wrong button, which means that we are going to be going back to showing you things on here because we only have like 2 characters left to show. Okay, so then after we have him go through and do his rendition, then we have the moment we've all been waiting for, Big Al. I'm just going to show you the video because it's a good one. when Melvin says poor guy, and then Buff says poor guy, poor curtain, because he blows his nose into it. So after that, we do have Henry come out along with Sammy. I was so nervous. I can't even tell you. I like not even joking, not exaggerating whatsoever. I was so insanely nervous when he came out and he was wearing the cowboy hat because all I could think was, oh, Sammy didn't make the final cut of the new show. And then Sammy popped up and I was extremely happy because I don't know why, but Sammy has always been one of my favorite characters in the Country Bear Jamboree. Maybe because I just always felt bad for him. He's like a raccoon and everyone else is bears. But the fact that he does appear in this during the "You Got a Friend in Me" sequence just completely made my day. So then Sammy says, hey, maybe we should invite all of our friends to come out for the big finale. So all of the bears come out with the exception of Big Al, which I thought was kind of an interesting choice, mainly due to the fact that Big Al always was there in the original one. I need to focus, dude, focus, dude. So we have all the bears come out with the exception of Big Al, and they sing the Bare Necessities, obviously from the Jungle Book. And then after that, we get to the only song that made it from the original one, which is going to be "Come Again." And then you exit the theater and you get back in line because you just enjoyed it that much. So that is going to be kind of our walkthrough of the new Country Bear Jamboree show. So let's go through. We're going to answer any questions that people out there might have about the show. Overall, I really did enjoy it. I thought it was better than I was anticipating, but I did walk in with very low expectations. I did not watch anything online beforehand. I know Disney released an Imagineering special about a month ago that focused on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and they also focused on this show right here. And I completely avoided it like the plague. I had to actually still watch it because I did not want to be spoiled on either attraction. And I was like, I'm going to be on both of them opening day, so I will see and experience both of them, and I can just hold off and wait. So I waited, and I am so happy I waited. But at the same time, I'm curious what other people think because I have put on all of my like Instagram and Facebook. You can choose words to not see, and I usually have things like everything political because I don't care. And then I put things like that Universal, put that out there. And then I also have it so I blocked Tiana's Bayou Adventure or Princess of the Frog, and I also blocked out Country Bear Jamboree or Country Bear Musical Jamboree, just so nothing would pop up on my feed on Facebook or Instagram with either of those things, so I could be completely surprised when I would go through and see it. If it was, of course, like someplace at like Hong Kong Disneyland, and I was maybe never going to see it in my lifetime, naturally, then I would probably watch it online. But when it's things that I can see and I know I'll be able to see it on opening day, I'm like, okay, I'm going to hold off and try to wait till opening day to see anything. And I'm so happy I did. But overall, I think the queue line, amazing. Like that, all those different little artifacts that are in that lobby, I want to go and take more pictures and experience more of it, because I don't think enough people in that lobby were appreciating it. It was just a really cool experience. And then the show itself, I will probably be going back tomorrow and watching it again because I just thought it was that good of a show. And actually, if I watch it tomorrow, that means I have watched the new version as many times as I've watched the original version in 2024, because the original one closed down in 2024 in January, about 2.5 weeks after the year started. And one of those weeks I was in Disneyland. So I only got to do the attraction 6 times at the start of the year. And now the new one, I'm at 5. So as soon as I get on the next time, I will have done both 6 times in 2024, which is kind of cool. And nerd. Okay, it doesn't look like we have any questions coming out there at all. So we might be wrapping up the show right here. But as always, thank you everyone for joining us once again today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tonight's episode was sponsored by our there was Patreon pals here. And Patreon pals, if you want to be a Patreon pal. It's a terrible rendition. But thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you're not already subscribed over on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. We are getting closer and closer, like I said, to that 8,000 subscriber. I'm hoping somehow we will hit it by August 1st. So if you know anyone who wants to subscribe, send them on over so we can hit that by the end of the month. And of course, as always, remember that anything can happen if you let it. Until next time, have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Bye-bye now. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Are they gone? Are they gone? Oh, good. My cheeks are just killing me. I can't stand this kind of pressure.